So, again, I'm Rosalind White. I am the Assistant Vice President for Enrollment Management here at Alcorn State University. Alcorn State University is a unique place. We're fortunate in the state of Mississippi to have a lot of different colleges that our students can attend, and Alcorn is just one of them. We have about 3,200 students. We've been fortunate enough to be around 450 years. In fact, in 1871, Alcorn State University was founded. So we're celebrating, and I cannot say the word, so don't ask me to say that S word. So we're celebrating 150 years. Early, we have about 3,200 students, about 45 degree options. So we're a small school. And because of our location, the majority of our students live on campus. So we have beds for 1,800 students. So undergraduates comprise the majority of those students, but we have undergraduate programs, we have bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, and we have one specialist, one doctorate program. That's about me, a little bit about me, and a little bit about Alcorn State University.
I love it. Okay, thank you for sharing. And so I know at this point, this may already be available to students, but when do admissions applications typically open? And also around that, is there an admissions application deadline that students should be aware of?
Okay, so a very good question. So actually our application, like I think a lot of colleges our application opened August 1st for fall of 22. So that's for new freshmen, new transfers, and everybody. But for this audience, our new freshman application opened August 1st, and we've already got lots of applications. We are on what's called rolling admission, which means that you can apply up to the time right before school starts in the fall, which is it's not a bad thing. And if you're applying to schools that have early action, just be aware of what those terms mean, what rolling admission means, which means that we're constantly accepting applications. That's what that means. And if you're looking at highly selective schools, if you're looking at private institutions, liberal arts schools, you may have to say, I'm coming here. And you may have to apply in early October or late September. So whatever schools you're applying for, good question about what kind of admissions do they have.
100%. That's such a good piece of advice. Like just knowing those terms, right?
Exactly.
And then around that same kind of thing, is there a certain ACT score and GPA that ensures an academic scholarship for Alcorn?
That's an excellent question. So there is actually two. There are two scholarships that you will automatically get if you meet certain ACT and GPA requirements. So it's a new scholarship that our president, Dr. Nave, started this year. It's specifically for Mississippi residents. So if you are a Mississippi resident and you have a 3.0 and an 18 or a 19 on your ACT, you automatically get $500 a year. You don't have to apply. Once you're admitted, it's done on admissions. And if you go up to a 20, to a 23 with a 3.0, that's $1,000 a year. It's automatically renewable. All you have to do is maintain a 3.0 GPA. And if you have a 3.5, you get an extra $500 on top of that a year. And that's the Alice G. Clark Leadership Award. And that's named after, she's an alum, but she's also one of our state congressmen. So she works in Congress here for the state. So the higher your ACT and GPA, so you can get up to $5,000 a year. So if you're a really high achiever, you got a 33 on your ACT and a 3.5 GPA, we're going to give you $5,000 just for applying. No questions asked. It's yours. If you enroll at Murray State, you get $5,000 a year. So that's a new thing that Dr. Nave started this year. This class has benefited, the fall of 21 class has benefited from it. And it's really, really exciting because students like, I got what? What did I get this money for? It comes out of the blue.
Right, exactly, it's a great incentive for students too. And so around that same sort of question with ACT, what about ACT SuperScore? Do y'all use that for either admissions or for scholarship purposes?
Yes, we will use it for admissions and scholarship purposes because we did not waive test scores. So we do require, for fall of 22, we will require a test score, whether it be ACT or SAT. But yes, we will accept the SuperScore, but it has to be a SuperScore report that comes directly from ACT. Like students will show me, because you can pull it up on your phone with the little circles, and they'll show it to me. I say, great, now have ACT send that to me.
Right. So that's good to know too, because some schools may do it differently. So it's good to know it needs to come straight from.
Yeah, some schools will calculate the super score for you. We will not. We have to have that score report from ACT.
Awesome. So good to know. Okay. So around that same sort of process of like scholarships, I know that we talked about that being like an automatically awarded scholarship, but what about other scholarships? Is there a separate scholarship application required? What does that look like?
Good question. So we actually implemented a new system for our students, a new admission system for them to go through. It's called Slate. So once a student applies for admission and the student has been admitted, they will be sent an email to prompt them to apply for scholarships. So that means now you have to be admitted in order to apply for scholarships. And in fact, we'll go so far as to tell you what you're eligible for. So you'll get an email to say, hey, you're eligible to apply, and we'll put you in the pool. Whatever you're eligible for, we will put you in the pool for those scholarships. And one of the things that I wanted to, because I'm sure every college is going through this, just because you qualify for a scholarship doesn't mean that you're going to get that scholarship. So besides that Mississippi scholarship, everything else is competitive, which means that there are a limited number of scholarships. So you could be the best student in the world, and we love that about you, but everybody can't receive a scholarship. So the earlier you get those in, the better for you.
Right, the higher those chances.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I know we talked about the rolling admissions process, but what about scholarship deadlines? Is there a specific date for that?
March 1st. Our scholarship deadlines for those academic scholarships is March 1st.
Perfect. Okay, because we know that's a large part of the college process, or like paying attention to deadlines.
Exactly.
Okay, and so this has been great so far. So what about are there any unique scholarship opportunities at Alcorn that are available to students that we should share?
Yes. So and I haven't been. September 1st will be a year that I'm an alum, but I've been away from the state for over 25 years. So one of the great Alcorn was great when I was here. I won't tell you how long ago that was, but it has evolved, and because of its status as a land grant institution, agriculture is very popular here. The university was granted a lot of money for scholarships for students who are specifically ag majors. So these are $10,000 scholarships.
Wow.
And I've seen students with less than a 3.0 get them, new freshmen. I've seen students, they have their own criteria. So that's a separate application through that particular school that you have to apply for, but it is a $10,000 scholarship. And considering that the average cost of attendance here is about $18,000, so half of your worries are over. So that particular scholarship within the School of Agriculture, and it's specifically, you have to be, and so people tend to think of agriculture as like farming, but it's so much more. There's ag business, there's ag economics, there's the biotech part of that. So there's a whole lot of things that you can get involved with that particular major. But I said, if you're looking for some dollars, you may want to consider agriculture.
Absolutely. That is also a very unique opportunity for students. So that's great to hear. Now, a lot of students, even outside of scholarships, look at, financial aid, federal financial aid, as an opportunity to get money for college. Is completing the FAFSA required, whether that's for admissions purposes or for scholarships? What does that look like for Alcorn?
So for admissions purposes, no, the FAFSA is not required, but in order to receive a scholarship here at Alcorn State University, you must complete the FAFSA.
Okay. And is there a priority date for FAFSA completion?
May 1.
May 1.
May 1.
Perfect. Okay. And also kind of going back to the whole talk of like ACT and scholarship things. I know for rolling admissions, yes, but is there a last ACT score date accepted for scholarship consideration? That's an excellent question. And I went, and I was actually on the ACT website today, excuse me, looking at when the ACT tests were for this fall. And hopefully they won't get canceled this fall. Right. So hold on just a second, let me get something to drink here. Sure.
I get so excited talking about higher education. I just like,
I'm the same way.
So that there is a February test. I am so sorry.
It's okay.
There is a February test. I think it's February 12th.
Okay.
That is the last time you can take it for competitive scholarships.
Okay.
For that automatic Mississippi scholarship, it's the April test date.
Okay. And so those can, so the February and the April for, okay, good to know. And now I'll talk for a minute so you can kind of get taken care of over there. But are there any new or unique programs for Alcorn that we should be telling students about? So
there is within applied sciences, within actually it's within agriculture, and they have applied sciences within there. There's a nuclear engineering program. We're actually, I don't know if people know this, we're close to Grand Gulf nuclear station, which powers half of the Southwest.
Right.
So there's a program. So these students, it's a bachelor's degree. Their average starting salary when they get out of college is about $70,000 a year. And there are internships available to them while they're in school. So that when I'm talking to students about, because the world is so competitive now, COVID has changed a lot of things. There are a lot of jobs open now. In previous years, there weren't as many opportunities available. So there are lots of opportunities, but you want to go into a field if you're interested in this. And a lot of times students have no idea what they want to major in. You want to go into a field where you can feel you're going to come out of school, you're going to have a job. Right. Job security is very important, but also loving what you do is very important too. But I tell students to look at those programs. If you're not sure, that particular program, that nuclear engineering technology program, that particular program, if I had to do it all over again, I might have ended up in that program. And also our nursing program is very popular here. You would actually come in as a pre-nursing major, but we have a nursing school on in Natchez, Mississippi, which is about 45 minutes from our main campus. So if you get accepted in our nursing program, you go to the Natchez, and it's been nationally recognized as one of the best programs in the nation. Really great program.
Awesome. Okay. What about any other new or exciting things that we should be, telling students, whether even if it's outside of academics, anything else new or exciting going on campus, or new buildings or anything like that we should know?
Yes. So thank you for saying that. So yes, we have some new facilities coming along. We have a new business building that's being built. It will be ready by the time our fall, they're working on it right now. So by the time of our fall 22 students get here, it will be open, a brand new, beautiful facility. And of course, we have our math and science building, and it escapes me right now. So Alcorn is our location. We have lots of land here. And so traditionally, the academic side was on one side, the residential side was on another side. And so we're kind of shifting where we're putting buildings all over the place. So those new facilities, those new academic classrooms, they will be online once students get here. So I'm really excited. It's always exciting to go into something new, but where you can go where you have state-of-the-art technology in classrooms, where you can interact, where there will be a ticker tape, if you're interested in the market of, NASDAQ, what's going on the market, what's going on. So to give our students the tools to be able to connect with what's going on in our world, because 100%. Not only it's important to get a college education, but that education doesn't mean anything if you can't apply it to the real world. So it's I'm excited about. I've been here back less than a year. I'm excited about being here at Alcorn. There are great things going on, great opportunities for our students. And I want to go back and I wanted to mention something about scholarships. So if students weren't aware, Alcorn State University is a historically Black college. But we want to diversify. We want students from all walks of life to come to our university. We have 2 new scholarships that were introduced this year. We have a President's Ambassador's Scholarship, a diversity scholarship. That's $10,000 a year, which is renewable. And we have a diversity scholarship, which if you're a non-Black student, If you have a 18 on your ACT, 3.8 GPA, that's $5,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
So
great.
it's
And those are new this year?
Those are, yes.
Perfect. Okay. That's also great to know.
Yes.
Love it. Love it. Now we know for students and for really everybody, this has been a difficult year, but specifically for students, learning virtually, having their routine sort of disrupted, all of those things kind of around COVID-19. What resources are available for students on campus to address maybe some of these issues, whether it's career centers, mental health services, health centers? What does that look like for y'all on campus?
So yes, so mental health services is very important. And we've kind of beefed up that, from previous years, from 2019, 2020 changed the world.
Right.
And so, you have things in place, but, we've added more services for our students and our faculty and staff. So mental health services, we've extended our health services on campus. So if there's physically something wrong, we want to take care of your mental and your physical well-being. We have professional mental health professionals available for students and our faculty and staff to talk through things to help students if they need it. We also have a career, as you mentioned earlier, our career services office, and they've had to do things differently by reaching out to employers. We've connected virtually with them a lot instead of having in-person career fairs. We've had virtual career fairs, and those people who, and in fact, we've gotten more people to get involved because there's travel costs are not involved. So we have more opportunities for our students. So we haven't, COVID made people close their doors, but we have an open door policy for our students. For anyone who's a professional staff member or faculty member, we encourage our students to come and talk with us. When we say we're a family, we believe in that. I met with a family yesterday that came from Milwaukee, and she actually called my president later, and she said, that lady will take care of my child. And it's not just this lady, it's everybody. Now, we might have a few knuckleheads, everybody does, but we take care of our students.
I love that. And that's so important. And it's really comforting to us, to parents, to families, for everybody. And so I love to hear that. So just kind of last sort of piece, is there anything else that you feel like you would like to mention on behalf of Alcorn for students, for families, for school counselors to hear?
I think sometimes schools the size of Alcorn are sometimes overlooked. Or students from other races will say, well, that's an HBCU. I'm not supposed to go to school there. Right. Yes, you can go to school here. You can, and I encourage students to, not just for Alcorn, during your college search, to really look at schools, think about what you want to major in, check to see that they have those majors. And if you can, if COVID doesn't shut us down again, cross my fingers, visit. Visit. We have a high school day scheduled for November the 13th, where it's actually on a Saturday, and you come to the football game. We take care of the business first. We get all of our academic colleges out. We do our campus tours and everything. But for you to really experience campus life, I think it's very important. So, and not just for Alcorn, but for any college, if you can, step foot on those campuses. Because, some people show up and it's their first time and it's okay.
Right.
Some people show up for their first time on a campus and they go to school and it's not okay. So I encourage students to do your research, go on websites, call admissions offices, set up academic appointments with professors, so that you can get a true feeling to see if that college is a good fit for you. Fit is so important because it leads to whether you're going to be successful at a university or not. So Alcorn is a family. We are, all of our programs are fully accredited. We have higher than average graduation and retention rates. There are scholarship dollars available. We're fortunate in the state of Mississippi that if you meet the requirements for admission at one state school, you can meet the requirements at all state schools. I was like, this is fantastic. So we're putting our kids all at a, so you've got a lot of choices, but we want students who choose us, and we want you to consider us. So check us out. Check us out. Absolutely. It's a great place.
I love that. I love all of it. And I hope that students hear this and want to come visit. And I just appreciate you taking the time to talk through this.
I'm so glad I got the opportunity. Look, I love to talk. So they call me directly. 601-877-6348. That's my number. Call me.
I love that. And thank you so much for sharing all of that awesome information.
You are welcome. Thank you for having me.